Friday, everybody. Let me refresh the stream. Refreshing both streams, trying to see myself. We're live. I can hear myself. I can see myself. Still waiting for YouTube to get it together. Come on, Tube. What's up? What's up, Trading View? So I'm gonna talk about a lot today. Excuse me, allergies. I'm talking about a lot today, right? Last stream I was super bullish, right? And then the market turned and came down. But I mean that dip maybe lasted like 12 hours, right? And then it got bought up. So I want to talk about that. I'm going to talk about cryptos, BTC, Ether. I want to talk about the indices, right? The kind of bottom signal we got. And I want to talk about gold, right? And talk about Luna. Yeah, and a few other things, right? I think these are exciting times, what we're seeing in terms of the market itself. And yeah, so let's dive in. Make sure if you guys have altcoins or stocks show me to look at. Let's go ahead and start dropping the tickers, and I'll get to them when I get to them. But real quickly before I dive into the gold chart, I wanna cover Ether, because I was saying last stream that potentially on that smaller swing, as of my last stream I was saying I don't want to see a dip past 25.82, right? And we did see that, but actually it was actually higher, like 25.89. So just about on this swing, right? We didn't really want to see a breakdown below a 25.90, but if you go on the daily, it looks like all that price action under it was just a wick, right? And it was a dragonfly doji, right, on the daily, and that's typically, in terms of candlesticks, kind of a reversal candle. Looks like today we're inching back up, right? And I should have seen that dragonfly doji coming, or that shakeout coming, and I didn't. But now, it's kind of more clear, and we'll know to avoid that in the future. Just because we had, that initial shakeout, the initial drop, sub 61.8, I thought, hey, like the market's done. But this was kind of a capitulation run up, right? Not only that, but if you look at this descending broadening wedge, right? I mean, it looked complete, but it was missing like savagery, right? And this was really freaking savage. And we had a micro bull flag here, and now we're inching up above resistance close to, and based on these fibs, right, we're trying to close above the 50, and that's good. 27.24. We need to see that maintain. Consensus, I mean, I was bullish last week. Sorry, I was bullish on Wednesday, and I'm still bullish, right? I'm not going to be bearish on something when it's so far sold off. But I'm bearish on things that are about to sell off, or I think are going to sell off, right? There's charts down some like 50-something% off all-time high, right? I'm not going to short that. It's like beating a dead horse, right? I mean, it was down 53% off all-time high, down 52%. I'm not interested in shorting that. I think the upside of an upswing, right, is going to be more of a risk-reward than any downside that gets rejected on a wick and bought back up, right? I think we're more likely to touch 2,900, possibly extend higher than we are to go down and break 2288 again, or even touch that. That's what I have on Ether. I think like initial targets, if we do get a good run based on this extension, right, I would look at 2890, 2955, and 3050. Right, and the bearish continuation level would be like 2905. But I think we'll. I mean, last week on Wednesday I was looking to, if I wanted to hedge, I was looking for like 2990, right? So now I'm still going to be looking for that 2900 level, that 61.8 as opposed to over here. Somebody was counter trading me in the chat. Afternoon, Braymac. Somebody was counter trading. Somebody had a short, and good for you, man. You did good. And I got stopped the profit. So Another chart I want to bring up. I published on this on TradingView. Usually I tweet about these. I did tweet about it too, but I figured like might as well post it on TradingView. Right, I posted this Luna long at 51.75, right, and that was absolute bottom. And I think it's ringing my target 2. The target 1 was 59. Target 2 was 69. It's ringing target 2 right now, and that was like a 25% swing. More than that. What's that looking like? So I'd like to see continuation. If not, like this is T2. Probably a good time to scale out a little bit. Maybe move some, probably scale out. Move some UPNL in a sub account. Maybe try to hedge with that UPNL. All right, so this is the swing where I got my target because it's kind of a continuation downturn. So I think we need to break above that 68, 69 zone to continue up. And in terms of signaling that, right, that was freaking 33% move. So that's what I'm saying. You know, somebody, yeah, I saw that, Boss Hog. I got the alert, man. I got the alert on Coval too. I wanted to bring it up. Oh, dude, yeah, I saw that. Good catch, man. Thanks for showing that chart. Okay, so what I was saying, you know, shorting something like Ether for however much it dumped, let's do that, right? I think there's more upside and up move, like return potential, than there is in these down moves, right? Let's do a daily, just kind of showcase that move. That's why I'm trying to find longs here and not shorts. That's a 15% move versus a 35% move, right? I mean, I could have traded both of them, but I'd rather much position myself here on these swing lows, because if this thing's doing what it looks like it's possibly doing, right? There is a big picture here, right? There is a big picture here. So big picture, we had a consolidation, right? Back in this range. I'm gonna make my face smaller so you guys can see it a little better. So big picture, there was consolidation, a breakout, retest of the red line, and this big bump and run, right? Bump and run. And now, let's go like a 4 hour, so it's more clear. All right, same thing. We got a consolidation, we got a run up, we got a retest of the red line, right? So are we seeing potentially a market bottom, right? And do I want to be shorting to this, or do I want to be trying to find longs, right? So that's kind of my consensus where I think we are. It might be an ultra bullish view, but maybe throughout this stream I'll get a better idea of why I'm so bullish, or you guys will get a better idea of why I'm so bullish, or maybe why I'm wrong. Let's look at Coval. Let me cover indices first, and then we'll jump into alts. But I'm gonna cover Coval because you did ask me about it like 3 streams ago, I think last Friday, and it did ring exactly where I thought it was going to, and I still have the alert on that chart, I think. All right, so I'm gonna jump into indices, and I saw this on the ES, right? And I tweeted the shit out of it like 4 times yesterday, and I'm just gonna get rid of volume. Right, so I'm not going to show my MAs on stream. I don't think I've disclosed it other than inside Discord. So if you want these, jump into Discord, find me on a good day. Maybe I'll share a chart publicly with them. Well, we've seen these tags over here of this red line MA, right, so many times. And this is the first time since COVID that we've seen it, right, since COVID crash. Usually you get a powerful reaction off of that, right? And historically, we've seen a lot of continuations, right? A lot of continuation. Like this would be the first tag since this crash. This would be the first tag since the previous crash. So in my perspective, I think that was bullish selling, right? I had calls on the QQQ, and they're in profit now. I didn't sell them on the shitty low day where they were worthless. I should have added, but I didn't do that either. Anyway, so I think moving forward, right, like when we see these tags, which happened very rarely, right? Like 2019, we saw two. Even in 2018, before crashing, right? We had two tags and a range set up, so we could actually see a range set up. If we're actually gonna come down and crash further, I think we're gonna see the setup happen in the next week, if we're gonna see that. But in terms of being bullish last time, I don't think it was a bad call. As opposed to like selling out for cash and buying back higher, or not trying to find longs. So that covers indices, right? Where do I think the ES is headed? Since it punched a lower low and touched that MA, we could be doing this setup right here, which I talked about a few weeks ago. That, hey, this could be a corrective year. So we still have uncertainty. We still have geopolitical uncertainty. And I think the next logical way to look at this is not on a daily time frame, right? Like more intraday. So move drawings. I think the breakdown continuation was probably right here. And we were above that initial 61.8, right? So the next target is going to be 43.98. Before I'd expect to see any kind of further pullback. And if we're setting up for something like 20, interesting. I'm just trying to see where this bounce lines up with a Fib, because that might give us an idea of what we're actually looking at. I think 452 is possibly like the next rejection if we are going to reject. And this was the last 61.8. So I think there's still some upside in here. All right, let's look at NQ, which is where I have my calls, and tech had been beat up so bad and I was buying the dip. On a daily, in terms of fibs, we saw that price action below 61.8, and that's where I was buying, right? I was buying down here, calls that are up here. Yeah, starting to look, I don't want to say starting to look toppy, but if this is the 61.8, it's above the 61.8, right? I think we get a retest maybe of the bigger 61.8. So let me just zoom out. Something like what Ether did on the intraday, right? Actually, we did see that on the 4 hour. I'd wait for up here. I think there's a little bit more upside potential. I might want to hedge it though. Probably do a small hedge, a low risk hedge. It's above. Yeah, I'm just probably gonna let it run at this point. I'll look at Jasmy USD. So that covers ES. That covers Ether. I didn't cover BTC. Let's look at BTC. I covered NQ. I really want to talk about gold because I opened a short position on gold today, and it's an ambitious short. But once again, I like shorting things that are going up, right? I'm not going to beat something down that's down 50%. I want to beat something down that's like at epic highs because its downside potential is huge and I can play it out over time. I think really critical at BTC would be to reclaim 39,560. Again, a call scam likely. So I think it's going to be really important. Where did we get this 61.8 bounce? That's where we got the 61.8 bounce. I think it's going to be really important to reclaim this 50% fib, right? Super important. And we still don't have a breakout here. Like the NQ broke out, the S&P broke out. This thing looks like it's possibly retesting. A minor breakout, right? But I'd want to see a little bit more up out of it. Rejected at the 50, so I can be potentially very bearish. Let's see what happens if we enter this triangle or not. And if we do, I'd probably try to hunt longs at like 36,733 if we do crash. I still have a bullish bias, right? But I have a bullish bias at the lows, not up here. Like this, I was saying be cautious over here, right? Now I'm saying, all right. That covers BTC. Let me check on Luna again. Is it rejecting? It's still looking decent. Not super rejecting. I think we'll get another tag. Hopefully. I said that last stream and then the chart just freaking turned. But just based on this formation, like based on this, I really like this setup. I think we can get a really big run up. I tweeted some like crazy targets. All right. Let's talk about gold. And then I'll look at alts and other suggestions. Once again, guys, if y'all have any chart suggestions you want to show me, please do it now. Okay, I kind of had this chart set up before the stream. I can just get rid of it, right? You can always redraw. So, one thing we know that a rejection at the 61.8 typically leads to, this is like basically a bearish retrace. Little fruit fly. So this move up, in my perspective, is a bearish retrace because it didn't continue, right? Same with this. And this would be bearish continuation, right? Now, what we're seeing now is very similar to the last gold top, right? And on the daily, like, this is a mega wick, man. Like, unless this was a bull trap, bear trap, I don't know. But this is like a bit of a striking resemblance where the chart failed to rally above the 61.8 3 times, right? Here it wasn't even a 61.8 yet. And on GLD it looks a little different. On actual gold itself, you know, it's a little more clear cut. Remove drawings. Right, so what I did, I actually tweeted my exposure and I posted a trading view idea on it too. I'm buying puts and they're way down here, right? So I'm buying 145, 140, 130 puts that are a year, 6 months, year, 3 months out, right? They're July. I'm just giving it time to do what I think it's going to do, because if this thing starts breaking down, right, I think we take out support like we did previously. Now, you know, the alternate view is, hey, you know, geopolitically it's all different, economically it's different than last high. Yeah, but I mean, that's what they said about BTC at 69k and at 55k. There's always going to be this time it's different crowd, right? And I didn't go for like super low, right? Because I mean, this thing could have, but I'm not taking all that. I just want to get out over here, right? And I'm giving it a year and a few months to do this, and I'll stop out with like a move above 184, 185. So that's a short that I'm taking, right? I'm not shorting a bottom. I'm not trying to be a hero, short the counter trend. I'm just shorting where I know where to short, and I do it comfortably, and I do it with edge, and it is the rejections at a 61.8. Right? All right. Let's look at some of you guys' charts, and we'll check back on some of mine. Let's look at Coval. I mean, last stream, a couple streams ago, I think it was a Binance chart. No, maybe it was Coinex. I wish I still had the drawings on here. Dude, look at that. Look at that. And I'm just taking this from the comments, right? It started to bounce until it hit 46 exchange market events, right? So, yeah, so last week it was above 56. I was saying, hey, we're probably going to see a breakdown a little further, and if it dumps, this is the level you want to counter trade at. And wham bam, that was support. And the idea behind this chart is there was a few other charts that Boss Hog was showing me that had actually broken down to this extension level and then turned around and went back up. And I'm like, hey, I don't want to look at the ones that are clearing over here. Try to find one that hasn't touched this level yet, and maybe we'll fib it. And this was the actual chart. So nice find, man. I'm glad you got an alert. I'm glad you got in timely. Can you look at Jasmine when you get to request? Is there a bottom? Let's knife catch. Jasmine USD. There's a Binance chart. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. What is this? This is tough, man. This one's real tough. Problem is, I don't trust the listing wicks, right? I like to see price action after that. It's looking real grim. Now I'm starting to force it to comply. Let me look at another exchange. Sometimes I can find this, sometimes I can't. Okay, perfect. This is way better data. Because we have a previous run up and we have a previous range. So that's given us like way too crazy of a no bottom target. This doesn't help us either. Neither does that. So take that price action out of consideration. You come down to the next range. Try to see if anything makes sense. I would run, man. I wouldn't try to trade this unless you know something I don't know. You see something I don't see. What we see here is FIB compliance, wick, rejection, support, rejection, rejection, bam. So until this reclaims like 2.5 cents, starts going up, I wouldn't. Now if you think it's bottomed, then you want to look for that bullish 61.8 retrace for an entry, or even a 50%. So I think 0.1732. If you get support down here for some reason on good volume and it starts to go back up, like that would be the area of interest for me. But other than that, I don't see anything that says I can trade this chart personally. Leadership team is legit. Alright, so let's take some requests from the tube. I got Cooley coming in with Sol and XRP and CERE. So let's start with Sol USD. This is looking like the rest of the market. I remember when I would stream all throughout this year, or when Sol was like mooning and pretty far up there, I said, hey, like this is not the time to buy this thing. I'd wait. Let's go back in time. Don't like that. Just trying to find that top. Don't like that. Dude, I've charted this way better in the past. I don't know why I can't do it today. Let's do this. Okay, this is what I was missing. Bam. Beautiful. Now we could also extend this range and probably get support over here. Alright. You guys, I'm using the Fib retracement extension tool. If you want to learn how to use this, there is a link to a workshop that I did. And actually, you know, that's what I'm talking about. Like, I've fibbed this way better in the past, but I'm still not getting anything here. it needs to clear 91.82 or else $70. Wait, so if you get another big down move in crypto, I think $70 is the next bounce. And at that point, I'd probably want to trade it. All right, but if it clears 91, then it's a different story, right? It's rejecting there now. If it clears 91, I think this can get a bigger run than 104. I'd say it has to clear 91 first. And if it finds support there, that's good. That means it's kind of starting to find support and move on up. And if I'm right about Luna, right, being bullish and, other things being bullish, then the rest of the market should probably be bullish too. So we'll see. You could see some more pullback, like a minor liquidity event here. I know there's some stuff going on Solana, like not so good stuff going on with the devs and project in general. All right, let's look at XRP USD. Let's say FUD, right? Because I'm not too familiar with the story. Ripple, man, poor old cripple. Man, last time I bought Ripple spot was during the Coinbase delisting. Like when we had good old Binance accounts and they'd let us trade before they kicked us off, What about here? Just trying to get more compliance. There we go. That looks good. I would say 67.7 is support, right? And we need to, once again, like these charts have sold off that broke below previous support, right? Now we just need to see that area become resistance, right? And we need to see bulls take 76, right? So if you go above 76 and pull back down to 76, and then it's probably long worthy. And if we're getting a true bottom, I'm going to say B word instead of bottom. If you're trying to get B, right, like you could see a good run up. But I think like we could go to 80, down to 76, and so forth. But I'd say I like it. Usually XRP does these like massive shakeouts before a big run up. What was this one? This was below a 61.8, right? But then this consolidation move over here, which was probably a tradable long signal, right? So that right there, that 61.8, I think I mentioned Luna, and it was a 61.8 pullback before the big run, right? It's possibly a 61.8, right? So like, I think the upside potential here is probably bigger than downside potential, unless there's like some XRP shit down the pipeline. Siri, the Siri network. I don't like these bottomless charts, man. I'm just trying to find exchange data. Nothing. This is the only range I can extend. Yeah, that's feasible, right? I saw support at 2 cents, saw support at 23, 25. And now it's testing resistance. Is it going to continue up? I would say that's very much dependent on the rest of the markets. Now, not to say correlation equal causation, right? But not to say, Brownian motion is real too. But I want to look at gold, the weekly chart, and I want to compare it to something. It's probably a good takeaway, right? For today's stream. And one of the reasons why I'm actually like bullish as bullish AF, to be politically correct. 1 week. Is it easier to see these top down? Let's put them side by side. The last time we saw a gold top off, right? Gold, not Gilead. Oh, here we go. I'm all over the place. Alright. Last time we saw this pattern on gold and it rejected to the downside, the following week was a shakeout. But after that top, we saw the craziest time in market history, right? I think it was right here. Yeah, it was right here coming out of it's gonna do this. This was October 1st, 2012. October. Jeez. All right. October 15th. I'm gonna have to zoom in on this. So what I'm trying to say is, last time gold topped out, right? This is October 8th, right? This is October 1st. Last time we saw a top on gold, the market was like in a rising wedge, and I bet there was a lot of people thinking like, hey, we're gonna pull back, maybe we're gonna perma-bear this move, and there was a big run up right now. But once again, as I'm saying, like, this time it's different for gold. I could use the same old adage, and what I'm seeing right now on indices and the correlation, is it different this time? Or is it not different? Right? This is where it gets tricky. These are some things I want everybody to keep in mind, right? Because, and in terms of shorting BTC and crypto right now, like, even if we have another one more rough week, could we potentially be seeing something like that, right? I'm not saying it's going to put us in another 10-year bull run, but that's when the last 10-year bull run started, is on that top on gold. And yeah, officially, for me at least, I think that bull run started a little sooner on this retest of the 61.8 at 122 on the S&P. At that point, I would say the S&P was bullish. All right, that covers everything I wanted to cover. What do you guys want me to cover? Anything else? Was that a good stream? Can I get a clap? Give me a thumbs up. And yeah, I shared my positions on both gold and Luna, like my entries on Twitter in real time. Same thing on gold today before the market opened. I had a write up both on Twitter and on our TradingView account. So make sure you smash the like button on those trading ideas. Click follow on the accounts. I'd say turn on the notifications for Twitter, because like I've tweeted some really good entries the last couple of weeks. Other than that, everybody, I want you to have a great weekend. Trade safe, hike your stops, even partial stops, so you keep something out of your moves. Other than that, I'd like everybody to have a great weekend, and jump into Discord. Catch me in there 24/7. Almost 365, except for when I'm fishing. Yeah, you guys have a great day, and